Hey guys, so the first thing we need to do is start by writing down our objective. I can calculate the volume of cylinders, and to be able, that's what you should be able to do independently on the yellow slides by the end of this lesson. First thing you need to know what volume is. Volume is the three-dimensional space occupied by an object. Volume can also be represented as the capacity. And that's a lot about what you talk about in science. It's the space that if you filled up the container to the tippy top, that it will all be filled. We're specifically focusing on the volume of a cylinder. So to find the volume of a cylinder, you would multiply the area of the base by the height of the cylinder. So a lot of times we talk about volume as length times width times height. Well, we could take that as the length times the width is our normal formula for area, and then times the height of like a rectangular prism. So we're going to do the same thing here with the volume of the area of the base. So B is the area of the base. Well, when we talk about the area of the base, what is the formula of the area of the base of a cylinder? And that is the area of a circle, which is pi r squared. So you're going to find your radius, you're going to square it, and you're going to times it by pi, or 3.4. And the height, or h, is the height of all those bases stacked on top of each other. So the base of the cylinder is always a circle. So that area, we use the formula pi r squared. Go ahead and pause this. Get anything else you need to look down. So our final area for volume would be the volume equals pi r squared times the height. That's our full formula for the area of volume. You can also write that up here. Volume equals pi r squared times the height. So the first says find the volume of a cylinder. So we have our formula. Again, we're going to write these formulas down over and over again until we can just blurt them out as a volume of cylinder. You can say pi r squared times height. So the volume is equals pi r squared times the height. Your volume is pi. This is your radius, so that's your r. So it's going to be 6 squared. Remember, your radius is halfway across the circle times your height of 4. I wrote h again instead of 4. Your height of 4. So to solve that, you can plug that directly in the calculator like that, or you can solve that pi, or 6 squared is 36, and then plug that pi, which is 3.14. Remember that pi is always equal to 3.14. So 3.14 times 36 times 4 is going to give you 452.39, and it's going to be inches cubed, which is that little 3, instead of like inches squared that we would use with area. So the next question is find the volume of the cylinder. So the first thing we do is we write our formula, which is volume equals pi r squared times our height, which are, first thing we need to do then is find our radius. Remember, our radius is halfway. Here we have that our diameter, which is all the way across, is 8. So we're trying to find that halfway point. So what we need to do is we need to divide this by 2 to find that halfway point. So 8 divided by 2 is 4. So we get that V is equal to pi 4 squared times 10. Because even though it's on its side, we can just think of it to turn the other way. So we have volume equals pi 4 squared. 4 squared is 16. And so we could enter in our calculator, remember? Pi is equal to 3.14. So 3.14 times 16 times 10, which is going to give you a volume of 502.65 centimeters cubed. On the next one is a U-do. So go ahead and write that formula. Volume equals pi r squared times your height. Remember here that you have your diameter and not your radius in this given one. Go ahead and plug those in and see if you get the answer for that one. Now, the next, we're going to do it in both terms of pi and the nearest tenth. So in terms of pi, just means that we leave the answer except for pi. So we multiply everything out except for pi and leave the symbol for pi in our solution. This gives us a more exact answer because we're actually multiplying, or we actually have pi there. Because remember, pi goes on forever and ever. It's an irrational number. So when we multiply by 3.14, we're actually just getting an estimate, a rounded estimate. So, again, your formula for the volume of a cylinder is V equals pi r squared times the height. So V equals, in this case, they give you your radius, so you get pi times 10 squared times the height of 1 or 15.2. So then we have V equals 100 times that 15.2, so it would be 152 pi. So we would do 152, or it's actually 1,520 times pi. And when we multiply that out and round to the nearest tenth, we're going to get 4,775.2. And that would be millimeters cubed in this case. So when we multiply, equals 1,520 times 3.14, then we get our V is equal to 4,775.2 millimeters cubed. So that would be our final answer. This is our answer in terms of pi. Right there. Let's go ahead and do another one. So we're going to calculate in both terms of pi and then round this to the nearest hundredth this time. So we are rounding 2 decimal places this time. So here, again, our formula that we are working with is volume equals pi r squared times our height. we have volume equals pi. We do not have our radius here. We have our diameter. We have all the way across. So that means we need to divide this diameter by 2 to get our radius, which in this case would be 8 squared. And then our height is 7. So we have pi times 8 squared times 7. Well, I know that 8 squared is 64, so then I'm going to multiply that times 7 to get my volume in terms of pi. So it'd be 64 times 7, which is 448 pi inches cubed. So it'd be 448 pi inches cubed. Now I actually have to times that by 3.14. And so I would get 1,406.72 inches cubed. And so all I did is I times our volume, 448 times 3.14, and that's when I get the volume is 1,406.72. And there you go. You're ready to go ahead and try and solve this one on your own. You are rounding to the nearest hundred, so you're rounding those 2 decimal places this time. And you do have your radius, so you're using that formula. Volume equals pi r squared times your height. And this is nearest tenth, but up here we said hundredths, so either way you want it is fine with me. All right, the next one we are doing is a word problem. The area of the base of the cylinder is 150. So if the volume in the cylinder is 1,500, what is the height? So in this case, we know that the area is, so we have volume equals pi r squared times the height. In this case, we know all 3 of these are equal to 150. Because our area for the circle, our formula for area of circle is A equals pi r squared. So to solve this, we need to take all 3 of those, which is not often how we do things, but in this case, when we are given that area, we are going to take that whole thing, and then we're going to plug in 1,050 for our volume, and then leave our height. Well, at this point, we're all pretty much familiar. If we have that, we're going to go ahead and divide 150 by 1,050. And we get H is equal to 7. So here you have a very similar question, but it's a little bit different. The volume of the cylinder is 942 cubic feet. If the height is 12 feet, what is the radius of the cylinder? Use 3.14 for pi. So we have 9.4, well, let's first write our formula. Our formula is V equals pi r squared times the height. In this case, we were not given our area, so we cannot do the whole big plug in there. We are going to actually go through, and our volume is 942 equals pi. It said to use 3.14 for pi, so I'm already going to plug that in. And then we were given r squared times the height of 12. So remember, when we're multiplying, we can kind of rearrange this equation a little bit. So I'm going to do 942 times 3.14 times 12 times r squared. And so we are going to do 3.14 times 12, which gives us 37.68. And then I'm just going to go ahead and copy everything else down. So it'd be r squared, 942. So in this case, I have that r squared there, but I can't really do anything with it yet. First, I have to divide by my 3,768. Just like if you had not an r squared there and just an r, if you just had it like that, you would divide because you're multiplying there. With the r squared, you are going to do the same thing. So 942 divided by 37.68. So you get 942 divided by 37.68. And you get 25. 25 equals r squared. And so again, when you have 25 equals r squared, you're trying to think of what squared, what number times itself would equal 25, or you're trying to find the square root of 25 would equal to r. So in this case, the r is equal to 5. So that is, it's long and it can be a little complicated, but I promise you, you can do it. And if you just apply your formula, you will be able to do it. So the next one is talking about Leanne's cylindrical water tank in her backyard. It has a diameter of 3 meters and a height of 2 meters. What is the capacity of her water tank? So this is just a regular volume problem. It's not even like a find the missing thing. You are just trying to find the volume of pi r squared times the height. Remember that this is the diameter, so you do have to divide that by 2. So I want you guys to go ahead and pause this and give this one a try. Alrighty. Here we have Drew and Bo each bought a cylindrical water bottle to a football practice. Drew's water bottle has a diameter of 3 inches and a height of 7 inches. Bo has a radius of 2 inches and a height of 9 inches. Whose water bottle holds more and how much does it hold? So what you need to do is you need to find the volume of each water bottle. So you do V equals pi r squared times the height for each of these water bottles, remembering that Drew's water bottle here is a diameter, so you'll have to half that. Bo's is not, it is the radius. So you'll figure out the volume of each of them, and then you can easily tell me which one holds more. All right, go ahead and pause this. Make sure you get all the numbers down. And try and find the answer. I hope you guys have a wonderful day. You can pause and do your summary and then show me your notes so I can check you off today. Thank you so much. Have a great day. Bye.